Suspects in Virginia who say they're innocent may have a better shot at getting out of jail.
The Innocence Project at the University of Virginia Law School held a massive fundraiser tonight featuring some big names. NBC 29's Nora News was there. She joins us live in our Charlottesville newsroom with the latest. Nora.
Hey there, Henry and Casey. Well, best-selling author John Grisham and Slate writer Dahlia Lithwick teamed up to interview a panel of 5 people who were wrongly convicted and put in prison for crimes they didn't commit. Now, they say that they're speaking out to make sure that people know that this really does happen. At an event headlined by a fiction writer,
I tell people all the time, every wrongful conviction case is worthy of a book.
The stories of these 5 people on stage may sound far-fetched.
At age 55, having never had a parking ticket, I would have been embarrassed. I was accused of murder.
But they are, incredibly, the truth.
Holy cow, our system really has fatal flaws, persistently doing the wrong thing over and over again, and all of us have a responsibility to help cure that.
The stories of each of the wrongly convicted speakers were different, ranging from Beverly Monroe, the now 79-year-old woman who spent 15 years in prison charged with a murder that was actually a suicide.
It's been a long time and you never get your life back.
To Robert Davis, who falsely confessed to a murder he didn't commit and then was pardoned by Governor Terry McAuliffe last year.
A lot of people don't have the funds to keep their case going, whereas the Innocence Project comes in and they do the work and all that stuff, so that's a real good thing.
Beyond raising money for the pro bono services of the Innocent Project, Wednesday's event was also to educate the public.
How is it possible that people confess to murders they didn't commit? They do. How is it possible that eyewitness identifications are wrong? They are.
Dahlia Lithwick says that's the first step in preventing future wrongful convictions. Now, the Virginia Law School Foundation is matching dollar for dollar everything that was raised tonight, and the Innocent Project says they really hope that money helps them serve even more people.
Nora News live in our Charlottesville newsroom tonight. Nora, thank you.
Virginia's top lawyer says a judge should not throw out an Ivy man's 1969 murder conviction. 69-year-old Sherman Brown is serving a life sentence for the killing of a 4-year-old boy in Crozet. Now the University of Virginia Law School is taking part in an Innocence Project case seeking to clear Brown's name. They say they have DNA evidence proving he's innocent. But Attorney General Mark Herring says the claim doesn't hold water. This case is pending before the state Supreme Court.
Certainly a big difference today, folks, compared to the last couple of days. We were much cooler, high temperatures in many locations on the WeatherBug Network, not getting out of the 50s. We had plenty of low clouds and even some showers there earlier in the day. A look at the WeatherBug rain gauge stations. Most folks seeing maybe around 1/10 of an inch or generally a little bit less than that. Pretty quiet scan of the exclusive dual-pole triple Doppler radar tonight. I think other than a spotty sprinkle or maybe some isolated locations with a little drizzle, we're just kind of talking variable clouds overnight. Low temperatures generally between about 49 and 55, so not too terribly chilly, but we will see some locally dense fog, I think, develop here well late and getting into that morning commute tomorrow, so be mindful of that, and especially those locations that had a little bit of the rainfall back on our Wednesday. That's where that fog could develop. So that's mainly before 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. Otherwise, getting off to a variably cloudy start, an isolated shower possible. As we go through the day, though, more in the way of sunshine. A look at the big warm-up here. Temperatures getting back in the low and middle 80s, courtesy of a southwesterly wind. There could be a spot shower or a thunderstorm, but we're going to track that in more detail coming up in a bit with your full 7-day forecast, and that will send things back to the desk.
All right, thank you very much, Clayton. The case against a man accused of setting fire to a cross in Stanton will go before a grand jury. Last month, 30-year-old Josiah Carey allegedly burned a wooden cross outside Marcus United Methodist Church in Stanton. Carey, who's being held at Middle River Regional Jail, is charged with burning a cross to intimidate and destruction of property. A Stanton judge certified the charges in his case.
Crews are still putting out hot spots where a wildfire burned 16 acres in Albemarle County's Walnut Creek Park. Investigators say human activity is behind the fire. No one was hurt and there's no structure damage, but some park trails are closed. If you know anything about how that fire started, call the forestry office. That number's 434-220-9176.
Covering the state tonight, Culpeper County settling a discrimination lawsuit with the Islamic Center of Culpeper. The Board of Supervisors voted last night to accept the settlement that allows the center to obtain a sewage permit needed to construct a new mosque off Rixeyville Road, and the county would pay the Islamic Center $10,000. The center has filed a federal lawsuit alleging supervisors discriminated against the group when it denied that permit last year. The agreement still needs to be signed off by the center and a federal judge.
It's up to Virginia Supreme Court judges to consider a pair of cases dealing with the proposed Atlantic Coast Pipeline. In one case, landowners say Dominion didn't go far enough in notifying them about surveys on their properties and when they would happen. Since the first batch of survey notices went out, Dominion has updated its policy and enhanced communication to include more specific proposed dates. Some judges were concerned this legal question is no longer relevant, given the survey process is nearly complete.
It's in everyone's interest that we choose the safest and most environmentally responsible route for the pipeline. And the land surveys are one of the most important ways that we do that.
This is not the last time that this project will be in court. So we'll just keep working at it.
The second case focuses on the bigger picture. Should power companies have the authority to go on properties without the consent of landowners? Attorney General Mark Herring is joining 16 other top attorneys in continuing the fight against President Donald Trump's revised travel ban. They filed a brief today asking an appeals court to uphold the ruling that blocked the ban. The Trump administration had requested a stay until the case is taken up on May 8th. The attorneys general say the travel ban from 6 predominantly Muslim countries would hurt higher education, medical institutions, and tourism.
Tomorrow, the University of Virginia Board of Visitors is expected to vote on a tuition hike beginning this fall. The university recommends that tuition for undergraduate in-state students increase by 2.2%, which would bring the total cost of attendance to more than $31,000. For out-of-state, the increase would be 3.5%, or just north of $63,000 per year. Tomorrow's meeting is expected to start at 3 p.m. in the boardroom of the Rotunda. Taxes are going up in Waynesboro, mostly to pay for the high school renovation, but just how much is undecided. New tonight, City Council talked about what a 9-cent real estate tax increase could do. It would allow the city to reinstate 2 additional police officer positions, bringing the total to 4, plus add a PR person to promote the city and create a $173,000 reserve fund for the Economic Development Authority.
I think we realize that tax increases are coming. We can't fund everything that the city would like to see us do or that the community would like to see us do with the tax rate to where we're at.
The public will get a chance to weigh in on the proposed tax hike and increase to water and sewer rates at City Council's next meeting Monday night at 7 p.m.
A cafe in Waynesboro is extending its reach. The Farmhouse on Main opened this past November. It's a coffee shop that serves breakfast and lunch and soon will offer alcohol. But they just added a co-working space to the upstairs, 2 rooms with plenty of seating and high-speed Wi-Fi.
It's an opportunity to allow people that work from home, creatives, entrepreneurs, small business owners to work outside of their homes, and then hopefully some networking will happen along the way.
You can reserve the space or you can just show up. It's free and open to the community with support from Grow Waynesboro.
An Albemarle County distillery is opening a craft spirits production operation. Governor Terry McAuliffe announced Ragged Branch Distillery will create 4 new jobs with its $225,000 investment. The project is supported in part by $17,000 from the governor's Agriculture and Forestry Industries Development Fund. A solar energy company is expanding its footprint here in Central Virginia. Today, Segura Solar cut the ribbon on its new corporate headquarters. The new office on Harris Street will house its executive, human resources, and other top-level positions. The company at the moment has 15 full-time employees at headquarters, but plans to at least double that in the coming months.
It's kind of one more puzzle piece in the big puzzle of Charlottesville. It's turning into quite an innovation industry center. It's got a lot of investment in technology of all kinds, but this kind of rings true for a lot of people in the city because it's all about sustainability.
Segura says it also is partnering up with the University of Virginia and UVA Athletics. The company will be offering paid internships to UVA students.
The city of Charlottesville wants to help its workers to live in the city. Now, a new pilot program in the works could help teachers, police officers, and others. The employer-assisted housing program is still in the planning stages, and the details have not yet been ironed out. But it would help about 10 families each year afford to live in the city. To apply, you have to make less than about $78,000. The Housing Advisory Committee says this will help keep employees working in the city.
To help their employees live within the city, that will cut down on housing costs related to commuting. It will give them more time to spend with their families, and I think it'll be healthy for the city as a whole.
The committee is going to continue to work on the proposal for City Council. It says that should be ready by the end of the summer.
A former math teacher and mother of two is running for a spot on Albemarle County School Board. Katrina Colson announced her candidacy for the Rio District seat this morning at Penn Park in Charlottesville. Colson is an alumnus of Yale, UVA Law, and Teach for America. She has represented children as part of the UVA Law Children Advocacy Clinic. The Rio District seat is currently held by Pam Hoynahan, who will not be seeking re-election. People with special needs showed off their musical talents in Charlottesville today.
And the biggest star of Fox News is out of a job tonight. Coming up, we're going to take a look at the fall of Bill O'Reilly. That's when your News at 10 continues.